All right. Tommy Morrisson, 11-0 pro, Montreal native. Everyone in Montreal knows who you are. Internationally, maybe not so. Would love to spread who you are right now and tell everyone a little bit about you and why they should be looking out for you.
So I'm Tommy Morrison. I'm 11-0 pro fighter. I've been fighting for most of my life. So I've been training since I'm 12, and before that I did even martial at like 5. Yeah, I'm also a computer engineer graduate, and I think people should look out for me because I'm disciplined and I get out of the lot a little bit by being a computer engineer and doing both career. So I'm doing well, and I got a big goals, and hopefully I can make it to the UFC one day and people will get to know me.
People say the fighting game is hard, and it is. And it takes a lot of calculation and thinking. How has going to university, becoming a computer engineer, helped you in fighting inside the cage?
I think by doing computer engineer at the same time as doing fighting was not really evident. Can we say evident in English?
Sure.
It wasn't so easy because you had to be dedicated in both the computer engineer degree, which is pretty hard, and I had to stay focused in fighting. So um, I did my best in both, and I got my degree, and it helped me because I could not only do fighting, but I was also disciplined elsewhere in my life. Whereas if I was only doing fighting, I think it would have been a little easier to, lose track, and, you know, if I didn't have all these responsibilities outside of fighting, it would be easier to lose track of myself and do something else. It really helped me be disciplined in every aspect of my life and focus on these two things: sleep, eat, study, train, and that's all I was doing.
That's really interesting. Do you think that there's been less pressure or more pressure on you considering that you did go to school, you do have an engineering background, you're not fully reliant on fighting because anything can happen in fighting?
Uh, I think the I think it does take away a little pressure. Um, I think it takes it away because I got a plan B, which is a great plan B, and I do fighting not for the money, not because I need the money, because I could go work in engineer and make
Of
good
course.
amount of money. So I do fighting really because I love it and I enjoy it and I have fun doing it. So it takes away the pressure of having to make it to. I do it for fun and I'm gonna make it because I have fun doing it.
I'm not saying that you come from a billionaire background, but it reminds me of Armin Sarukian.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to fight, but
Hmm.
he's still a savage and he fights. And that reasoning you just gave, it makes you 10 times scarier, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You're not desperate to fight. You do it
Yes.
because you love it,
Yeah.
right? So that's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, and also it's I think a certain thing that these fighters that are more desperate, let's say desperate to fight and to make it, they're more prompt to accept not stupid but less good matchups because they feel like I need to get this matchup to make it. Where in my place, I feel like first of all I'm 11-0, so I can get to pick my fights a little more, and I don't have to my management team take care of it, and we get to decide a little bit on what I have to do.
So you have the power of choice.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. So when you're exhausted, like mid-fight, what do you tell yourself to keep pushing forward?
When I wouldn't say exhausted. I would say fatigue,
Right.
or yeah. I think you're gonna feel fatigue just as much as the other guy is gonna feel it. So it's really a matter of who pushes through. So if I'm fatigued, I know this guy is fatigued, even probably more than me. So I'm just pushing through, and it's just it's either 15 minutes or 25 minutes, and it's not long time, and you don't have place for regrets.
And if you were to calibrate a percentage for physical ability and mindset within the fight, how much would you allocate for both?
I think, let's say, if both guys have similar physical ability, which is most likely at high level fighting,
Right.
I'd say mindset has like more than 50%.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe I would maybe like 60-40, or yeah, 60.
Can you give us a walkthrough of your mindset from being backstage to walking in front of an audience to being in the cage, being called out on the mic, and then starting the fight? What does that look like?
So I'm trying to enjoy every moment of it, and I'm trying to, it's easy to get stressed, and everybody's gonna feel anxious and stressed, but it's a matter of how you attack it. So I'm really trying to be grateful for the opportunity. I don't have to do this. I choose to do it, and I'm lucky to be in that position, fighting in front of all these people looking at me. Some people came from I don't know where to watch me fight, so I'm really grateful about it, and I'm excited. I'm gonna have fun. I do what I love the most, which is fighting, and I get to do it in front of a lot of people. So yeah, I think the best way to kill the fear and the worries is to be grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. So, about that point, having people watch you, having people come from out of town to watch you in big stadiums, I mean, when everything goes wrong in the ring, because I'm sure it has, everyone's been through there, things go wrong, right? And people are watching and there's pressure on you. What's the one mindset principle that keeps you grounded and keeps you conquering the fight?
I think you have to prepare for the worst. So you have to visualize. Let's say if this guy, uh, instead of being worried, he might knock me out. Like it might happen, but you have to Let's say you visualize getting wobbled, and you have an answer to it, and you visualize the answer, and you visualize and you visualize. So if it happens, your body is gonna do it like muscle memory. It's gonna. So you don't have to be stressed. You're gonna you already thought about it, so you have an answer to it.
Does that help you with confidence?
Yeah, I think it helps. It helps with confidence. If you know you're gonna have an answer if it happens. Some people try to avoid it. Let's say, oh, it's not gonna happen. I'll never get wobbled, and but then it happens, and they might, don't know what to do. So you have to be ready for those worst case scenarios.
Yeah. So what would you tell someone who's struggling with confidence? Like, what's your best piece of advice to build it up?
I think it's to have a system. You have to have a system on which you can rely on, and build a stack of proof that you can do it. So you can just write it down, journal every day, and before a fight, you can even write your worries down and throw it. Just do something that's gonna make you more confident. And the stack of proof is about things you did in training or in fighting before that proves that you can do it.
So it seems like you're super stable in your mindset and you have a great action plan on how to conquer your own demons, your own fears, and being in the cage. So if you could tell your younger self something about discipline, just one thing, what would it be? We're talking about Tommy Morrisson, maybe the 13, 14-year-old running around Montreal.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough that I didn't do much of these things, and if I did,
Right.
it was outside of camp.
Okay.
But in camp, I was always disciplined. My father really raised me to be disciplined and not.
Even when you were younger, like maybe like 11, 12?
Yeah, I'd say at a certain point, you want to go out, and
Yeah.
but I think I'm glad I did, because now I understand that I don't miss these things. So if I never did it, maybe I would be like, I'm missing out.
Right.
Now that I've done it, I know I'm not missing out on anything. So the life is a lot easier to have right now.
Yeah. So have you been through some hard moments in your life where you've contemplated, should I stay in school? Should I stay in fighting? What should I do? And what was that like?
Um, I'd say
Did
when
that ever cross your mind, or was it just out of the cards completely?
there was a certain point where it was harder to fight, but it was mostly in the beginning. When I started fighting, before fighting, I did the sport for like 5 years where I wasn't fighting. So it was a little bit harder to have a purpose in that sport. And that's the moment I was like, like I feel like I do this maybe for nothing. But once I started fighting, it never crossed my mind that I should stop doing it.
And I appreciate that answer. And I do have a question in relation to that in regards to loss, which is ironic because you've never lost, but doesn't mean you haven't lost other things in life. And essentially, like, how do you handle losses or setbacks without losing that mental edge?
I think, I mean, I did lose in my amateur career.
Okay.
I did lose once, and I took it as a good lesson because I was disciplined, but I think I was missing that, you know, that fighting is, you do fighting 100%. There's no room for errors. There's no room for, you can't miss training, and then you get to fight and you're not 100% sure. So you really got to be confident about yourself. And so I think a good way to handle setbacks also is to not be scared of it and learn from it. And it's normal to fail, and I think it's the best way to learn.
So when you were fighting amateur and you lost that match, were you going 80, 90%? What was it exactly that you weren't doing 100%?
I think I wanted to have fun a little bit. At the time I had a girlfriend that wasn't, she wasn't so supportive of me training twice a day, every day. Sometimes she wanted to go out, and sometimes I did, which I shouldn't have done. But yeah, it was a good lesson from there, and I never did it again.
You sorry?
I never did it again
Right.
after, yeah,
Okay.
and I was fully
So you
focused
learned,
afterwards.
and then it was a sacrifice that you had to do.
Yep.
What other sacrifices have you had to do? Because I'm sure there's been lots to get to where you are.
Yeah, I think you sacrifice all your life. Is I treat my sport as as like my job. It's my life. I treat my life as a job. So I wake up and I really live for the sport. And when I'm not practicing, I'm recovering, and I'm doing everything in my power to be the best, physically, mentally, and my life basically resumes to the sport. So sacrifices could be in you can't go out, you can't do anything, you can't miss training, you can't basically your life is going to be a job.
Right. A lot of people think that they want to achieve success because it brings them freedom, but what they don't realize that the more success you get, the more responsibility you have, and the less freedom you have. Does that resonate with your story as well?
Yeah, I agree. I think what gives you freedom is discipline. By being disciplined, you do what you have to do, you do what sucks, and you put yourself through hardship. And afterwards, let's say I had a really hard training this morning. Now I feel free. I can be here right now and be happy and have a peace of mind because I've been through hardship this morning, and I'm gonna go through it tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna go through it every day of my life so that I feel free, and I'm free in my mind.
That's amazing. I agree completely. Discipline does equal freedom.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what's a mantra that you, or an ideology that you tell yourself right before a fight starts, other than wanting to have fun and being there? What goes through your head when you're standing and facing an opponent ready to try to kill you?
So I have three pillars I live up to in training and in fighting. So it's to be sharp, to be overwhelming, and to be ruthless. So in every training, I have to live up to those pillars, and I rate myself afterwards on 10, I rate myself on how I did this, how can I can improve in the next training. And so my goal is to live up to my pillars, live up to be my best self, and to have fun, and to stick to the game plan. And that's the three things I'm gonna do. And then if I do this, then I'm gonna be proud of myself.
That's amazing. And do those three pillars also resonate in real life, day to day things as a human?
I have other pillars
Oh,
for
yeah,
my
all right.
life, which is right now I can change the pillars regarding if after a fight I can change it, or I can change it whenever I want. And in life, my other pillars are to be joyful, to be loving, and to be ambitious.
Yeah. Is there, these pillars are really strong. Is there a specific way that you structure your day to day to achieve these pillars?
Yeah, so I basically make a plan, and I journal every day. So I always have these pillars I have to live up to, and I'm gonna plan it. So how can I live up in sparring this morning before sparring? How could I live up to these pillars? So to be sharp, let's say I'm gonna move my head, I'm gonna move my feet. To be overwhelming, I'm gonna throw a lot of feints, kick, punch, hit the body, do some takedown. And to be ruthless, if I'm gonna try to knock to the body, or if I take him down, I'm gonna put my hand on the face, like anything to be ruthless. So I plan how to live up to these pillars, and after every training, I rate myself and I say, okay, so how could I have been, how could I have lived up more to these pillars?
How do you do the third pillar, the ruthless pillar, in training?
So I think if you ask my sparring partners, I'm a little bit ruthless,
Okay.
and I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but at the end of at the end of the day, we're fighting. So if I can, I'm not gonna try to knock anybody out, but to the body, if there's an opening, I'm gonna try to hit the body, strong. So if I'm on the ground and we're doing jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna put my hand on the face, try to for you not to breathe, and I don't do it with bad intention. I just do it as I would in a fight.
Well, if anything, the opponent, if he was a learning fighter, he should appreciate that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some people like it less, but they have to understand that at the end of the day, we're both getting better by doing this. Because in a fight, somebody's gonna do that to you, and how are you gonna answer this if you never got it
Yeah.
done in training? So I'm that guy.
How did it feel the moment you collected your degree and graduated in engineering?
I had a big weight off the shoulders. Actually, I received my ring in March, and I having my graduation in June. But in December, when I did my last exam, even then I wasn't really feeling it because I didn't understand it. But the more we, the more I went through, and I just had training and nothing else to worry about. It was a big weight off the shoulder, even though I think it was more like subconsciously, because I wasn't stressing myself with school. I never failed the class. I was doing well. I was doing what I had to do also, but I think subconsciously not having to worry about that took a big weight off my shoulders.
Tommy, what's harder? Training for a fight or practicing for an exam?
I think it depends. It depends. Physically, of course, training is harder, and mentally, it can also be hard because you're gonna have bad
I can
days.
refine it. I can refine the question. Training for a very difficult opponent or studying for a very difficult exam. And we can even say mentally.
So I'd say mentally, I'd say it's harder fighting. Fighting is harder because an exam worst thing happen, you're gonna fail it. A fight, worst thing happen, you get knocked out. So you have to attack these two in your mind, and of course you have to be ready for both. But I'd say fighting is harder. Yeah.
Yeah. And which university did you graduate from?
I went to Concordia University.
Okay, Concordia University in Montreal.
Yep.
And for those who don't know, Tommy graduated in engineering, and he said he got his ring. Engineers in Canada get an iron ring, so that's not an American thing. That's a Canadian thing, right?
Yep.
And where does that come from? That tradition, the iron ring.
So it came from the bridge that fell
Okay,
twice.
that was in Vancouver, or
I don't.
I think West Coast.
They told me the name of the bridge. I don't remember the name of the bridge.
Okay.
I think it was in Quebec.
Okay,
I think it was in Quebec.
okay,
And since that, it was the fault of the engineers.
okay,
So since then, they did this ceremony in which you have to make an oath, and so you're not gonna value money more than, and you're gonna say your ideas, and you're gonna
Wow.
respect, and you have a full oath to make and to sign. So it came from there.
And I heard that they would collect the iron from the actual fallen bridge back in the day. Maybe they don't still do
No,
they?
no,
Not anymore.
no, they don't. I don't even know if they did it back then,
Okay.
but I've heard that too.
Yeah.
But it's a myth.
Yeah. Okay, so you're not in a secret society. You're just an engineer that wears a ring.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Amazing. Yeah. Tommy Morrisson, 11-0 pro. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been amazing to learn about you, your mindset, and I can't wait to see where you're going. I personally think it's inevitable that you're in the UFC. And I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you so much.
All right.